I am so sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. I think it might have been the connection on my end. In any case, we were talking with author Lisa Jacovsky. She was telling us all about her Let's Talk series that focuses on autism and characters with autism. So I don't know what happened, but we're going to try. Hopefully, she can get back on here and we can continue the talk. She was telling us about her series, excuse me, of children's books that really focuses on little ones that have autism and uses some of the techniques that she used as a child development specialist. Because she worked actually first with adults and then with children with autism. And so her books really help parents know that their kids can do a lot of things just because they have autism. There are a lot of techniques that they can use to help them out. So, excuse me, like I said, if you're just joining us, we did have Lisa Jacovsky, and hopefully she will be joining us again soon. Let me see if I see her on here. There she is. Thank you. Sorry about that. But I'm glad Lisa's able to join us again. She'll be getting back on. She was just telling us all about her books. Again, that's the Let's Talk series. I lost you. I don't know what happened. I think it's on my
That's
end.
okay.
But
That's
in any
totally
case,
okay. No worries.
so if you could please keep on going. You were just talking about
Oh,
some of the techniques that you've used in the past that you introduced in your books, and I think you said ABA techniques,
yeah, I can talk
or you
about
mentioned
those.
tell us.
So I bring in my books different techniques I've used for communication, and actually in book 6, I'm going to bring in social stories. A lot of families don't realize there's all these amazing techniques out there to help their child have a life as similar as any of their friends and be able to communicate. And there's no books that have things like this in them. So I really bring a lot of my experience, my career to it, and I really wanted to show families autism in this beautiful light, which is basically how I see it. Yeah.
That's wonderful, and I love having that really perspective because um, I think a lot of times families do when they, especially when they first get the diagnosis. I'm sure there's this feeling, of not sure how it must be very overwhelming and how you're going to handle it. So I think that's really
Yeah.
positive perspective. Could you talk a little bit about you mentioned that, and I'm not sure if everybody has an idea of what exactly a social story is.
Oh, so a social story is basically a step-by-step story that's very, very simple that shows a little one how to do something. So we use social stories a lot and we don't even realize it. If you're potty training your little one and you're showing a book of one of their favorite characters, maybe Elmo from Sesame Street, go from step to step on how to go to the potty, that's actually a social story. So I'm actually going to use one for the 6th book. I'm not going to put too much information out there yet. You guys got to tune in and see it. But yeah, I'm going to bring out social stories, and they're an amazing tool for parents to use for their kids, especially little ones with autism, because it's a good prompt. They respond very, very well to visuals, and it really helps them understand a lot. So, I want to put out there these different tools that families can use as well, and to maybe assuage some fears or help families who are wondering what resources I can use. I want them to be able to see my books as that resource and give them the idea of what they can go look for.
So, who do you think is your audience for these? Is it families who have kids with autism, maybe other teachers, or is this for maybe for anybody that they
I
might
think
want to
it's
use?
definitely for families with little ones with autism. But I also have seen a lot of people use it as a resource who don't have little ones with autism, but they have a friend, they have a cousin, their daughter, their son has a friend. So it's really been for everybody. I even had my grandmother say to me that I didn't understand autism until I read your book. So it's really for everyone. And it's really a great resource, a great guide, because I feel like there's just everybody in this world knows somebody with autism. May not be their son, daughter, but they have a friend, or everybody that I meet knows somebody. So this is a great way for them to understand them better and then teach their children how to interact and be more open to diversity and disabilities. And if we can have those little ones grow up to be open and become adults, then we have that trickle down effect of more positive outlook on autism and less bullying. Thank you.
Yes, I love that. Because you're right. You were talking that all of us know somebody with autism. I mean, all of our lives have been touched by it in some way. And like you said, especially to work on the problem with bullying, and if we teach children when they're really young, what a
Yeah,
difference that
exactly.
makes. What kind of response have you gotten from
Oh my gosh, it's
readers
been
to your books?
overwhelmingly positive. The,
I love- I mean,
It
that's
really
a great
has been
response.
incredible. I have the best support system. The author community has been incredible. I did my first in-person book reading on Tuesday for an entire school of 600 elementary kids. And the teachers, the children, the
Wow.
questions they have are incredible. I'm starting to do events and people are so excited. I just talked to a library this morning and his words were, "Your books are phenomenal." I was so shocked. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, it's been overwhelmingly positive, and I am so incredibly grateful for that. I have no training background, nothing in writing. So for people to be able to love my work and also for me to make a difference, it really has been absolutely incredible and special. And I'm just so grateful to be able to have this platform to do something to help out in this world. Thank you.
That's wonderful. And especially like have such a
Yeah,
unique perspective on it. You know, mixing these tools to
thank
pass on. It's
you.
wonderful. Yeah, and so what message do you hope that readers get from reading your books? Now, obviously, they're going to come away with a lot of practical tools and techniques, but what main message or feeling do you hope they get after
I
reading
want
them?
families with little ones with autism to feel hopeful. And then I want families with little ones that don't have autism to come away feeling like we can break that boundary down. We don't need to walk away because the little one has autism and can't talk. We can break it down. We can find a way. I want children to come away determined to make that friendship, determined to find a way to get to know and play with their friend. So that's what these books are really about, breaking boundaries and showing families that there's hope. There is no limit to their little one. Thank you.
Wonderful. And you know, it's interesting because we talk a lot on this channel
Yeah.
about diversity in children's books. I think this is a kind of diversity that has really been overlooked. When you were teaching, I'm sorry, are you still
I do.
working
I
with
still,
children now
I
or?
currently work full time in early intervention with little ones under 3 with autism and cognitive delays.
And do you have trouble finding books that you can use with them? Especially, I would think because you're such a young age. I've started to see more, but it seems like they're a little more for older kids. Do you find it hard to find books like this out there? I mean, is that what inspired you, or what inspired you to
What
create yours?
inspired me was definitely a client. I had seen a pattern of, my clients that were kids having trouble with socialization, which we know autism affects, but it was really them with the other little ones not understanding how to play with them. I had a client who had gone to the park and she went on the swing, but she didn't know how to pump her legs. And a neurotypical friend was there trying to help her, and she was getting frustrated because she couldn't understand that why my client couldn't understand. So that's really where the light bulb went off. And I was like, wait a minute, this has been a pattern. I can do something to help with this. And that's really where the idea and the inspiration came from. Um, yeah. And oh, with my job, my little ones, we work on books. We do use books, but I use my books for my clients. So I only bring it up if it's pertinent to the conversation, if it's going to help the client, help the family. I also have a podcast called No Limits with Lisa Jacovsky, where I highlight authors, organizations, and individuals that are also making a difference. And I've made such incredible connections with other organizations. I recommend them all the time to my clients too. And it's been amazing. My clients have loved my books. They've looked at the resources, the other books, the organizations, and it's helped tremendously.
What kind of help do you think that most are looking for? With the clients when they come to you or their families, what is it that the
Hope.
real need that you
That's
see?
really what they want. If the client is in denial, then unfortunately they want us to fix their child and they don't understand. But Those have only been few and far between. Thankfully, I've had absolutely amazing families that really just, they ask me, like, when is he going to talk? Is he going to be able to go to college? And I'm like, yes, he'll talk or she'll talk on their time. I have, interviewed this person who didn't talk until they were 7 years old and were in special ed until high school. Check out their book. It's called Asperger Miracle, which is incredible. He's such an incredible speaker. But I bring that stuff up all the time. So it's really, these families just want hope. They want to know their child can have some kind of a life, can go to college, can, have friends, have, a sport and things like that. So that's really what these families want, is they just want hope.
Mm. That's wonderful, and that's a great note to end it
Thank
on. Thank you so
you.
much for joining us. And yes, and everybody, please, I encourage you to go check
Yeah.
out her Instagram and the website. Is the podcast is all. I know all the information about the books is there. The podcast is
Oh,
soon
absolutely. New
on
episode
there.
came out today with an incredible 16-year-old author with autism called Benjamin Giroux. You have to check it out. It is now a national song and music video, which is incredible. So yeah, little plug right there.
Nice, awesome. Well, we will go check that out.
Thank you so much for having me. Everybody enjoy the holiday and the weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.